Hello and welcome to more stuff. We're continuing right where we left off. Because I need honestly, I would have ended the video with this quest last time, but I need water crystals because I have 5. And I want to complete the dwarf quest chain. That stopped me in my tracks like a month ago. I didn't know there was this. Let's do it. Let's get straight down to business, shall we? The main problem with Panelov is that the recipe calls for a wide variety of wholesome substances, resulting in an extremely electric and subsequently extremely disgusting mixture of flavors. Now, I've managed to bake a slightly less repulsive version by adjusting the balance of ingredients, but the taste remains indistinct and unsatisfying. It needs seasoning of some kind, and badly. To that end, I've put together a recipe for a sweetener using those materials which are readily available in Labyrinthos. Not in any amount which could contradict our healthy and nutritious mandate, of course. Concocting the sweetener itself, however, is a job for experts, so I'd like to entrust it to you. Very soon we will have taken our first step to making the Panolof halfway enjoyable. Oh, I have to. Oh. I see. I probably get crystals for the Shadowbringer's delivery too. Okay, well, good to know. I know what I have to do to get more water crystals now. Oh, somebody from my old guild. Okay. While I was mucking about, I noticed a sheep that I have no idea what the fuck, but here we are. Sheep noises. Having empathically imparted its message, this sheep dashes off. You can only hope that this letter contains some matter of sheep to frantic dictionary. The script is comprised of several distinct hands, and sweet flowery fragrance lifts from its page. Your thoughts wander naturally to the pixies of Ilmeg. Greetings, sapling of the king. If you are reading this, it means our precious Fluffy has proven itself most admirably as a messenger sheep. We write you with some fascinating news. A talking leaf man has appeared in Ilmeg. You may remember our leaf men, don't you? Those dreary mortals who we furbished into darling shrubbery? Well, they're not usually much for conversation on account of being topiary bushes, but this one simply jabbers on. Such an accomplished leafman must pique your interest, yes? Come find us in Linda Laran and we shall introduce you. Excuse me, madame, but I have a word. If you can understand me, that is. You can? Oh, what a relief. Please help me. My mind is in a terrible haze at present, and these flittering, chittering children have done nothing but cackle and poke at me. You came. I knew you would. The king's sapling would never pass up a wonder this delightful. I am Eotiru, and this is Laura U and Anik Ose. We wrote you that letter together. Sapling? Wait, are you a plant? I thought you were a person. Come to help me. Oh, please tell me you aren't some tree who simply looks like a person. Is that supposed to make sense? Why, you sound distraught, as though you aren't the greenest and leafiest one here. What marvelous fun this is. In exchange for making me laugh, I'll share with you both a little secret. This chatty little bushling sprouted from none other than Aindan, one of the leafmen inside these stables. As for why, who knows? Maybe Aindan's spirit is simply overflowing with life, or maybe all my pruning and wishing finally paid off, or both. Regardless, the two are connected by their roots, which means they are both undeniably Aindan. So, my name is Aindan, is it? My memories are so muddled, I can't tell if it feels familiar or not. Oh, why don't we muddle Aindan back into his original form then? That sounds like wonderful fun. Oh, how lovely. Let's change him back. No, absolutely not. Everyone knows that trying to change a leafman back only ends in a mucky mudman. Aindan won't be another attempt gone wrong. I won't allow it. You mean to say that my choice is between remaining a bush or becoming mud? That I shall never again assume personage? Oh, say it isn't so, please. Yes, yes, that's it, my precious sapling. You should have called upon me immediately, of course. But how could I be anything but delighted that you remembered me all on your own? Whatever you desire, your beautiful branch is at your service. Your Majesty, 'tis true, none have yet returned a leafman to its original form, but let such improbabilities become mere trifles. If such is my sapling's wish, in fact, it could be accomplished by none other. You and your friends possess the ability to heal those tainted by light's corruption, do you not? Were that knowledge to be coupled with my strength as king, this leafman may yet return to his erstwhile self. However, such deeply transformative magics are a far cry from us from simple pixie glamours. If you cannot hold the clearest image of your true form within your mind's eye, your fate as a mudman is all but sealed. You know what must be done, my darling sapling. Call for me once your preparations are complete. I mustn't let Andon become a sloppy mudman. How can I help? Well, I take great comfort in knowing that I am not condemned to an eternity of mucker twigs, but recalling my true form feels like a daunting task indeed. Speaking of true forms, what was this consensus of yours, then? Person, tree? Honestly, I'm more confused than ever after that last conversation. Oh, a nickname. That makes far more sense. You do look quite like a person. And you say your name is Yo? A pleasure to meet you. Now, Yo, I don't mean to impose, but seeing as I am shackled here by roots and surrounded by plant harassing mischief makers, you may be the only living ally in this world. Please, please help me remember who I truly am. Oh, thank you. I will do my utmost to remember promptly. Of course, simply trying to remember something as you so utterly can't seems like a rather fruitless endeavor. There must be some reliable way of stirring up latent memories. If I had hands, I'd give myself a smart rap on the head to get the blood flowing, or sap flowing, as it were. But you have hands, yo. Would you be so kind as to give me a good solid smack in what might be my cranial region? Just get the leafy matter engaged. Wait, I just got a better look at your biceps, so better not. Aindon, you mustn't be upon the bush. I know, I got a little carried away tugging at your leaves and all, but I'm ready to help now, and I know you better than anyone. I've even seen your true form before, but simply telling you what I know isn't going to help you truly remember who you were. And you must truly, truly remember your true form if you are to return safely. True, I must say that this is surprisingly thoughtful for someone who was teeing at my distress not moments ago. But if you can't tell me anything, how do you intend to help? Well, I never said I couldn't tell you anything. Just nothing too important to be told. I'll give you little hints and pieces instead, like this. Do you remember being a shepherd, Aiden, and so loved your fluffy white sheep? You loved them so much, in fact, that even those scary sin eaters couldn't drive you away from your flock. You stayed and cared for them until the very end. Really? I confess I don't remember anything of the sort. But if you speak the truth, perhaps seeing tools of materials a shepherd might use would introduce further recollection. Not much of a lead, but it's all we have at the moment. Yo, would you be kind enough to procure me some items fit for a shepherd? Well, help too. Laurel and Anik Ose love playing shop, so be sure to check their wares for both handy and dandy bits, bobs, and supplies. Lately, Laurel I has been fascinated with what you mortals call scripts, but sweet Anik Ose will be happy to take your shiny coin just the same. Oh, what fun we shall have. I can hardly wait to get started. I wonder what he looks like. uh, Assuming I was a shepherd, seeing items used for tending sheep may help me remember something crucial. At least I hope it will. Okay. So each delivery thing has its own, like, what do you call it? Story. Well, maybe one day I'll get into these. I'm gonna do it on time. It's nice to see people out. Yo there, my good lady. If you don't mind me saying so, you have the look of one skilled with her hands. As a matter of fact, yes, I have seen you at the manufactory, have I not? You possess deft fingers indeed for Lord Sir Bavian to have taken such an immediate liking to you. That is well, for we are at Sky Scale Steel Manufactory are in search of like-minded and nimble-fingered individuals. Of course, said personage would also need to be familiar with Ishgard's efforts to restore its material legacies. Given that you are here, I trust that you are aware of the ongoing construction in the firmament. Better and better, we simply must have you. But no. It is unbecoming of me to be so forward. I will say only this. If I have struck within you some spark of interest, you would do well to speak with Mildemard. Is there a quest here? There's two. Okay, well, I'll come back to this. Cool. A tradeswoman? Why, it's a miracle. I thought we'd never get anyone to agree to help. With our reputation at the firmament being what it is. He's a fine fellow, but how he manages to say both less and more than is desirable at any given moment is beyond me. Suffice it to say that I admire your perseverance. Now, if I might appeal upon you to wait here, I will fetch my cohorts. Allow me to introduce Nimi and Denise, my fellow engineers at Sky Steel Manufactory, and partners in this grand endeavor. Ah, but I would wager that you have yet to be enlightened as to the nature of said endeavor, am I right? To put it simply, all at the manufactory, from Stefanibin to the freshest faced of apprentices, have been seeking a means to aid the construction of the firmament. We have searched high and low. Literally, he means, in the storehouses, and wouldn't you know it, we found a whole pile of tools just sitting there with all of the junk. Judging by the plans they were heaped on top of, they were only prototypes, but they were fine things nonetheless. If we could improve them, turn them into masterworks they were meant to be, suffice it to say that any one of them might make for a notable contribution to the restoration effort. Why, we could even award them to especially dedicated sky builders as thanks for their hard work. To do so, however, we need the aid of one who truly knows a tradeswoman's tools, not only in theory, but in practice. Someone willing to aid in their trial and reforging. This is going to involve a rare material. Oh, I should be quite surprised if it didn't. For the moment, however, take this prototype. Unpolished though it may be, I'm certain you will find it more than serviceable. And if the first taste has you yearning for more, come and talk to me. We have all sorts of tools awaiting the firm grip of a skilled hand. God damn it, that's precisely the sort of phrasing that... Never mind. Do let me know when you finish making your inspection of the prototype. Finished having a look over the prototype, have you? I'm sure you agree it has nigh limitless potential. As for how we realize that potential, we'll be working to the plans we found, at least to begin with. Each tool was accompanied by several sheets of detailing a stage of enhancement as imagined by engineers of times past. Some of the later designs are quite fanciful, in both appearance and apparent function. If we can realize the final designs, we will have remarkable works on our hands indeed. However, imaginative as the original creators were, they could not have anticipated the advancement in metallurgy and engineering that led us to where we are today. With our superior resources and techniques, we have the opportunity to go beyond what the original designers envisioned. These adjustments will require we add a few steps here and there, but it will be well worth the effort, I assure you. I ask that you proceed with the first two phases of enhancement for the time being. Once we have finished, Nimi and her keen eye for detail will discern what must be done next. We've worked out the materials you'll need, but be warned, they're very specific. A right pain in the arse to get your hands on, in other words. Yes, thank you, Nimi. I should also mention, the plans are quite insistent that the spiritual bond between tool and wielder provides some manner of benefit. This, to be frank, sounds like a lot of goblin peddled nonsense to me. Still, I should like you to utilize a sky steel prototype if you intend to make components yourself. Two birds with one hammer, as it were, and as testing is crucial to maximizing each tool's potential, and a large part of the reason we begged the assistance of a skilled tradeswoman to begin with, it only makes sense to use every available opportunity to do so. What else? Ah, yes, if you fancy developing our soon-to-be spectacular sky steel fishing rod, you will find that you require particularly stubborn underwater specimens. In an effort to make the acquisition less impossible, we have created a special bait to more readily draw them onto the hook. Should you have need of it, Denny's will provide. He's also the man to talk to once you've gotten together everything the plans ask for. Trust me, you're better off letting him get on with the improvements than trying to decipher the handwriting of multiple generations of engineers. Once you've got your prototype converted into an honest to God's tool, show it to me. I'll have to look at it. I'll have a look to see what changes we might want to make to the plans and confirm that you can use the thing safely. Wouldn't want anyone to lose an eye. Well, shit, I ain't doing that. Hey, another in a long line of quests I need to fucking beat. Alright. So that's that. Okay, I'm back from my break. So much shit. I have so much food now. Ah, I've been waiting for you. Who better to tell my studies than the very woman who set me on the course to enlightenment? My knowledge of mankind's histories has grown by leaps and bounds, and in no small part thanks to Hot Did Long's instructions. El Toro is too kind. Excuse me. She has told me so much of dragonkind in turn that I could hardly call myself the teacher in this arrangement. In fact, the time may soon come to put ink to parchment and begin my chronicles. And we all await that day with bated breath. Excuse me again. Hot Dilong has not been my only teacher. His wings are affecting the foliage. The city itself has lessons around for those who would observe them. Seeing its splendor with my own eyes has made clear one inalienable difference between man and dragon. I speak, of course, of your kind's love of tinkering, building, and crafting, and what a wonderful thing it is to behold. Where dragons are wont to tear down obstacles with fang and claw, you tear them down with hammer and chisel, or else find an ingenious way around them entirely. By using tools tailored to specific tasks, you overcome your natural deficiencies. One tool will be used to wrest precious metals from the earth, and another to transform them into something greater than the sum of its parts. I find the whole process rather fascinating. When I gaze upon the towering spires of the city, I imagine a roost built with my own claws, larger even than the one my sire calls home. I am eager to see my dream realized as quickly as possible, but Hot Dilong advises against me rushing into such an endeavor unprepared. He claims that to do so would lead to abject failure and possibly personal injury. You, however, are an experienced artisan, and I would be honored if you were to take me under your wing and teach me the art of making. I swear to be a dutiful study, and should this day pass into the next, I won't rest until I've mastered even the most esoteric of skill. Well then, I believe we have an agreement. I can start right this moment if it pleases you. Now, El Tao, you know as well as anyone how busy our friend is, and I also fear you have misjudged just how long it takes to truly become a master craftsman. You mean it will take more than a day? I knew that, of course. I had only hoped against hope that she had no appointments to save the world for the foreseeable future. Alas, my enthusiasm may have gotten the better of me. Don't fret, El Tao. She may still be able to help in some capacity. Perhaps if you could introduce us to the crafter with both the time and the inclination to teach. I expect that one of the many artisans around the firmament would be willing to lend us their expertise, although you are in a far better position to judge the suitability than either of us. We shall look forward to meeting our mentor-to-be. I suppose there are countless others who are more deserving of your attention than me. Say again, that scrawny little dragling wants to craft? Ah, whatever's next. As much as the notion of having a dragon for a protege piques my interest, however, my speciality is working in metal, great big slabs of it. Were she older, maybe there'd be a place for her, but as it stands, she'd be more of a hindrance than a help. Oh, a crafter. My apologies, but I'm more inclined to gathering what bounty the earth has to offer. I leave it to others to mold said bounty into what they will. I'd love to introduce you to someone who might be a help, but I'm afraid my work here is endless. I know the dragonette you speak of. I've seen her flitting about House Helenerte from time to time. Quite the inquisitive one, if I recall. So she wants to learn the fine art of crafting, does she? I've heard strange things in my time, but few as bizarre as that. I'm sure I'd kick myself later if I passed up this opportunity, so I reckon I could find time between projects to teach her a thing or two. Tell her I'll speak with her after I've finished up here, will you? Ah, the hero has returned. So you have found my teacher, whose sharp eye and steady hand will guide me on the path to mastery. Ah, such great expectations. I must meet. While I assure you my hand is steady, the sharpness of my eye is very much a matter of conjecture. Nevertheless, if it's crafting you wish to learn, I'm your man. Although, I can't say I've ever had the honor of teaching a dragon before. Any road, I'm Arvid, at your service. I'm here in the firmament on assignment from the Sky Steel Manufactory. And I dare say I have a few nuggets of wisdom knocking around in my head that are worth passing around. It's the young who must shoulder the burden of building the future, after all. Now, crafters come in all sorts, from cooks to weavers to smiths. Have you given any thought to where you want to focus your energies? Focus? Well, can't I learn everything? Tell us, yo, where should an inspiring artistus begin? Start with the tools. Ah, spoken like a true professional. 'Tis true that an essential part of any project is selecting the right tools for the job. However, there's a step that comes even before that. For now, let's start with the tools required to gather our own materials. Once you have the right equipment supplies, and supplies. There's nothing you can't make with enough elbow grease. Oh, how splendid it is to have you guiding hand. There's no telling how long it would have taken Halton Dog halted along and I to decide where to begin, and we been left to our own devices. Had we been left to our own devices, very well. Gathering is where we shall pour our utmost efforts. Mayhap when I'm a seasoned artisan in my own right, I'll take it upon myself to teach my kin as I was taught. Now wouldn't that be a sight to see? I dare say there has never been a dragon who has learned a trade, let alone one who has passed such skills on to the next generation. Indeed, you may be correct on that account. The other dragons will be flabbergasted by the wonders I create. Of course, I don't plan on taking all the credit. It seems that mankind's most culturally significant works are those that result from collaboration of people working together to make something greater than they could have alone. To that end, I must study and learn from the works of others, and even though you are too busy with your heroics to teach me daily, I would much appreciate it if you could come by from time to time and offer what knowledge you can. Magnificent. I knew your generosity would match the greatness of your deeds. Well then, let's get your education started off on the right foot, eh? You can spy tradesmen of all sorts supplying their trade of the new nest. I reckon you could certainly do worse than to learn a couple of tricks from them. Ah, the place is practically a second home to young Halton Long and I. Allow me to lead the way. This here is Anna, and we have her and the House of Splendors to thank for supplying the firmament with quality materials at incredibly low prices. Suspiciously so, in fact. Are you implying there is some ulterior motive behind our generosity? Why, certainly not. I'm here at the behest of my organization to aid Ishgard in its fledgling days as an allied nation. We are driven as much by philanthropy as we are by profit, I can assure you. Excuse me, miss, but are you a craftswoman by any chance? I'm afraid my adorable little dragonette that my hands are entirely too clumsy to make aught aside from the morning tea. The 12 have seen fit to bless me with a sharp mind for trade, however, and so here I am. And that's precisely why we've come. Eto has it in her head to learn a trade or two, and we were here to set her on the right path. To that end, I would ask you to provide us with materials, and perhaps any counsel you might afford a young novice. It would be my pleasure. Perhaps in return, she could tell me about the rarities and relics dragons keep in their lairs. I sense a once-in-a-lifetime investment opportunity has come before me, and if business in the firmament grows as much as my intuition says it will, this might just be what I require to turn a stream of gil into a veritable flood of riches. Consider me at your complete disposal. Say the word and I shall procure whatever you may need. How generous of you. You have our thanks, Miss Anna. Anything to foster the next generation of builders and tinkerers, my boy. As for the current generation, well, I suppose the house could bear to part with a few scripts in return for guiding our dragonette friend on a journey to mastery. We can't say no to an offer like that, can we? Well then, now that we're all acquainted, let's head back to St. Role Deus. With Master Arvid and Master Eo guiding us, I'm sure we'll be raising fortresses and forging dazzling suits of armor in no time at all. Let's keep our ambitions manageable for the time being, shall we? Our first task is the construction of tools that'll fit snugly in those claws of yours. Eo, I trust you can help with that. In the meantime, I've got some work of my own to attend to. If there's aught else you need, you know where I am. Before I depart, however, I'll leave you with an assignment. Inspect everything Eo does with diligence. A discerning eye is a tool that will outlast all others. Yes, Master Arvid. We'll give Eo's work the thrice over. Okay. Last firmament side quest. Huh. Oh, I know. Yo, what a coincidence that you should be here too. Nearly a moment ago, I caught sight of another familiar face. Though his attire, I noted, was anything but familiar. I, or rather, excuse me, ere I could hail our mutual friend, he hurried off in the direction of Sir Vanderveer's Grace. It seems as though he did not wish to be seen, but if you are curious, mayhap you would like to seek him out. Yo, what in the Fury's name are you doing here? Not that it is for me, person assuredly do you most assuredly do not know to say where where you should or shouldn't be. Nay, I was merely expressing my surprise at being in the presence of a great hero. Ah, and there, I thought I had disguised myself meticulously. Suppose I ought to explain. You see, I had learned that Sir Vanadu's Grace is presently recruiting aides and came here to present myself for consideration. As an aide, I would provide support to the chirurgeons and nurses, such as managing supplies and seeing to patients' everyday needs. While such staff are not fully fledged employees, they are afforded the chance to learn the healer's craft while earning a living wage. Not that I require such things, mind you. I recently had occasion to speak with a knight of my house, you see, one who was maimed in the line of duty, and I was made keenly aware that I was not doing enough to provide for those who had been giving me leal service. By working here, I hope to redress my negligence in some small way. But that is not the whole of it, if truth be told. 'Tis also my hope that my service would be an example for my fellow nobles, many of whom struggle to accept that all Ishgardians are equal in the Fury's eyes. They cling to the old ways and look down upon the common folk. Yet, now that I stand here, I find my courage has deserted me. The prospect of undergoing scrutiny is proving to be somewhat daunting, and I can't bring myself to step through the infirmary doors. Forgive me, Yo, but would you put in a good word on my behalf to the chief nurse within? Merliette is her name, and she has charge over recruitment. Greetings and welcome to serve Vanadu's grace. If I may say so, you appear as hale and whole as they come. I assume you are here to visit a patient? Oh, you wish to recommend someone as an aide. Coming from a renowned hero, it must be a fine candidate indeed. Begging your pardons, but I'm given to understand that the infirmary is presently recruiting aides. Why, Lord Charlemagne, to what do we owe the honor of your visit? If you wish to make another kind of donation, our staff upstairs would be glad to attend to you. What, can't every man and his chocobo see through my disguise? Never mind. Now, while I'm always pleased to donate, that is not my primary purpose today. I wish to be considered for an aide position. An aide position? Are you certain of this, my lord? I am, and in this capacity, I bid you think of me not as the Count de Dorian-Dare, but simply another Ishgardian. Well, if this is your wish. I should mention that there is another applicant, an orphan girl by the name of Meili. I believe you are acquainted with her, Yo. She is the one who fell from the vault and was saved by a white dragon. Truth be told, she is too young for the work, but seeing her enthusiasm, I am minded to give her a chance. If it isn't too much trouble, my lord, Charlemagne, may I ask you to fetch her from Rollenberry Field? I will speak with the two of you together. Of course, I shall go at once. You know the girl, yes? If you aren't otherwise occupied, perhaps you can come along and introduce us. There's a little chocobo. Oh, it's you. Who's the old man, your friend? This is Melee? Good gods, that she should be so young. Ah, but where are my manners? My name is Charlemagne, and I've been instructed to bring you to Sir Vanter's grace. Lady Mary Roulette wishes to have words with the two of us regarding the aide position. Really? Oh, perhaps she'll let me work at the infirmary after all. And you want to work there too, don't you? Come on, let's hurry. I'm here, Marionette. You wanted to speak with me about working here? That's correct, little one. My thanks for fetching her, Charlemagne. Now then, I requested your presence for no other reason than to ask you a question. Why do you wish to work here? Well, ever since Johan Vidornfear helped me, I've wanted to be someone who can help others. It don't matter who they are or where they're from. I want to help everyone. This is a wonderful desire, but know that to work at the infirmary is to be responsible for no less than the lives of others. There will be trying times, but come what may, you cannot forsake your duty. For instance, there may be patients who judge you not less but more harshly on account of your being a child, but you cannot allow yourself to be discouraged. And at the bare minimum, you'll be expected to know your letters and numbers, for lives could well depend on it. Do you think you will be equal to the task? Well, they teach us letters and numbers at the orphanage, but I'm not much good at it. And you, Charlemagne, I feel obliged to point out that many of our patients are commoners who once served nobles as soldiers. When they discover your identity, there are those that may assume the worst of you, that you are, for instance, and forgive my business, an eccentric nobleman indulging on a whim. They may not speak their minds, but their conduct towards you will be more than telling. In the face of such disdain, do you think you will be able to perform your duties? I offer my services in the full awareness that some may not take kindly to my presence. Regardless of how I am treated, I am determined to perform my duties to the best of my ability. Be that as it may, I confess I do not always know how best to relate to the common folk, and I fear it may cause me to struggle to win the patient's trust. Rest assured, none of this deters me from my course. If there is one thing I have learned, it's that anyone can learn, so long as they are willing, and for a blessing, I am in the presence of an ideal teacher. If you would be so kind as to teach me about your world, child, I would be glad to tutor you in the letters and numbers. As individuals, we may have shortcomings, but together we can overcome them to better serve the needs of those in our care. I'm willing to learn too, Merlet, so please give us a chance. Very well, I believe I have heard enough. On behalf of all of us that serve Vanadu's grace, I welcome the two of you to our crew. Though I have spoken some stern words, know that I will be there to help you on your way. Now, without further ado, I shall assign to you your first task. Our stores of daily necessities are dwindling, and I would like you to replenish them. As we have no regular supplier at this time, you may procure items from wherever you deem fit. We shall set about it at once. The first step will be to seek out the sources for that which we require. Yes, why procure from just anyone when we already have an eminently capable artisan among us? Yo, your skills are known far and wide. we would be most assured were you to consent to being our supplier. Wonderful. With you providing them, we can look forward to necessities of the highest quality. On that subject, you are perchance familiar with the House of Splendors. The consortium contributes to welfare projects in our nation and operates a stall just outside the infirmary. Should you require materials for your work, you would do well to seek them out. Oh, they were options in the first place. Okay. That's it for the firmament side quest, unless you count continuing the delivery experience. Which I don't. At least not for now. If I run out of everything else to do, I may come back to these. But for now, I'll see you in the next thing. Thanks for watching if you made it all the way through. And even if you didn't, thank you. Peace.